Hi pen friends, this is Sarah.
And Eve.
So we have a number of things to celebrate today. One is that it's Groundhog's Day,
Woo!
So happy Groundhog Day to everyone. And another is that we have passed 500 subscribers.
Yeah!
So we're really excited about that. We don't have an aim for how many subscribers we want, but I consider I consider like 1,000 subscribers to be professional, because then you can start making money from YouTube. We don't really aim to do that, but we're like half professional now at
we're
over
just
500 subscribers. So thank you to all of our subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. And also we're celebrating that Eve lost a tooth yesterday.
Yeah, I lost a really big tooth.
Yeah.
And I got this little locket.
And she gets a locket. She gets like a charm for each tooth that she loses, and when the locket gets filled up, she gets another locket to fill with charms.
So it already came with one tiny little peep charm. I really like peeps.
So I was trying to think of like what we would do for this video, and I had a lot of like ideas for things that take a lot of energy, and in the end I don't have enough energy to do much more than swatching inks. But
because we love swatching inks.
Yes, we love swatching inks. And they are actually our most popular videos, so I figured why not. So today we are going to be swatching 9 green inks that we haven't swatched before. I know that we've done
more green inks?
Yeah.
We've got like 3 videos full of green inks.
I think we've swatched green inks in 3 videos before.
Yeah.
But green inks are the majority of the inks in my collection. I love green. If I could only write with green inks, I would probably still be happy. So I've got 9 new ones that I'd like to show you, and Eve is going to be swatching them for you. Alright, so let's move over to the swatching table.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, the first ink that we're going to swatch is Colorverse Walk the Dog.
Walk the Dog?
Yep. This ink I find to be quite similar to Rohr & Klinger Goldgrün. And at the end of the video, we will compare it to that from the swatches we've made in previous videos.
I don't know how this ink has to do with walking a dog.
It's from a series of inks based on like things you do every day, I think. I'm not really sure what it has to do with walking the dog either. Maybe like walking the dog in the grass or something.
Yeah. This does look like a grassy color.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of these are from Colorverse.
Yeah, they are. So the next one is Colorverse, and it's a glistening ink, which means it has shimmer in it, and it's called Brane, spelled B-R-A-N-E, not the kind of brain you have in your head. And there's a lot of shimmer in it, so I'm going to shake up the bottle a bit.
Yeah, also at the end, we're going to look at it for sheen like we always do.
Yep, we'll take a closer look at the end. Especially
this one is supposed to have some sheen, so we'll see how much
it's different than shimmer. Shimmer is like particles in it, and sheen is not necessarily particles.
Well, let's see how much it shimmers after we do all of these. It's much darker than Walk the Dog.
It is. I find Walk the Dog to be a little bit lighter than I prefer to write with, but I still like it.
Yeah, and Walk the Dog looks like velvet a little bit.
Yeah. The next one is Papier, Plume, Forest Green.
This is the first one we're doing that isn't actually Colorverse in this video.
I really like Colorverse inks because they flow really well, but I also like Papier Plume because it usually has really good shading.
At first, this one looks pretty black. A lot of darker inks do, but then I see a little bit of, like a teal more than green.
Mm-hmm. It's more of a bluish green than the first two we did. The next one is Colorverse Arabella, which I believe is the name of a spider that was launched into space.
Whoa. Also, the forest green Well, when it dries, we'll see like what color it actually is, apart from just the black.
Yeah, when it dries, it'll probably look a bit lighter.
Colorverse Arabella looks like a more greenish.
Oh, it's like an emerald green.
Yeah,
like
emerald green.
Vibrant bluish green.
Yeah, it still looks more bluish than the first two, but it also looks like a more vibrant forest green.
Yeah. The next one is Colorverse Green Goddess. This one can be a little bit harder to find. I think it might be a limited edition or something, but it's one of my favorite greens, so I wish that it was easier to buy. I think it only comes in a small bottle.
Okay. So, like, these next ones are really, like, tealish instead of the first two's, like, kind of, more yellowish greens. This one is very similar to Colorverse Arabella, but maybe with a little more blue in it.
Yes. And the next one is Colorverse Green from their Office series.
So this one, well, it's very... You won't guess what color this is. Green. So the title doesn't say much. This is like very greeny. Less bluish than the other ones and less yellowish than the first two.
I think it's pretty similar to those to Arabella and Green Goddess. It's more bright and with a blue element that I would expect from
Yeah, it looks...
Like, usually when they just call something green, it's more, like, middle of the road, like, between blue and yellow for a green, you know? Like, more of a standard, like, regular green. But that one's, I find to be an exciting green.
Yeah.
The next one is from a company that is based in Italy. It's called Venvstas, even though it has a V in the middle of the name. I believe it's pronounced like a U. And this ink is difficult to buy. I think Truffet is supposed to be carrying it, but it's been out of stock forever. So I ended up buying some from Venvstas online in Italy. And it came quickly. And actually, it comes in a really neat box that is not square. It's really cool. It comes in a box like that.
The same shape as the bottle.
Yep. Okay.
So this first row is like more yellowish, except for the forest green. Second row is like more bluish greens. How about this one? Ooh, this is like a really dark glistening Brane.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't call it glistening because it doesn't have any shimmer in it.
That's what this is.
It's similar to, it looks kind of similar to that glistening Brane.
But without the glistening.
But the name Muschio, which is the name of this ink, means moss in Italian.
Yeah, it does look like moss, these.
Yeah.
These four look like moss.
And the next one we're doing is Robert Oster moss. So I tend to like inks that are called moss. Even though I think it seems to be more of like a dried moss color than like a
live moss
color.
Saying live moss sounds weird.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of a mix. Well, this is like very... Well, this...
Tell me if you need more ink on your brush.
Yeah, it looks a lot like... You know, it looks more bluish than Colorverse Glistening Brane, Colorverse Walk the Dog, and the last one, Muschio.
Yeah.
It looks like bluer than those, but yellower than these three.
Yeah. So the next one is Robert Oster Motor Oil, and this one's actually considered a brown with a green tint to it, or a green, leaning green. But I thought we could include it here because
it looks greenish.
It looks greenish.
Wow, this is really dark. It does look like brown with a bit of Colorverse Glistening Brane in it. Has like a little tint. Yeah, this looks very browny, not browny. This looks brownish.
It does. It is considered a brown, but I don't know. It's quite a green brown, in my opinion.
In my opinion, it's quite a brown.
You think you don't see any green in that?
I see a little bit of green in it, but it's quite brown.
All right. Let's let those dry a little bit, and then let's get a closer look at them and compare them to some other greens. Okay, so now our inks have dried, and I'd like to compare them to some of the green ink samples that we've swatched before. So, like I said, I think that Colorverse Walk the Dog is quite similar to Rohrer and Klingner Alt Goldgrün.
There's another moss.
Yep, here's Papier, Plume, Moss. It's kind of similar. This one's a little bit more yellow. And Robert Oster Bronze, I guess. These three are kind of similar to that one, but I guess Walk the Dog is a little bit more on the yellowish side, maybe. Has a little bit more like variation in color when you put it on wet. Like, when you have like puddling of the ink. It's interesting how it has these like darker green areas and lighter green areas.
It kind of looks like it's like swelling up.
Yeah.
I noticed that the Papier Plume Forest Green has a very strong red tint.
Oh, you're right. It's got a red sheen. Yeah, red sheen. And this one, I had to dab a bit of the puddle of ink here so that it would dry. Sometimes sheening inks don't dry as well as other things.
Oh, and this one has like a kind of sky blue sheen.
Yep. I'm going to compare Papier Plume Forest Green, similar to Private Reserve Sherwood Green a little bit.
Yeah, but
it's dark greens.
It's brighter than this
Sherwood
one.
Green
like
is brighter.
Spot right here.
Yeah. And then these, the Colorverse Arabella, Colorverse Green Goddess, and Colorverse Office Series Green, they're a little bit more...
I would say this is like actually just a blue.
Okay, so that one's a very blue green. Let's see.
I wouldn't even call that a green. I just call it blue.
Well, the Colorverse ones that we did today are kind of similar to Ackerman Bezuidenwood Green and like November Rain, Diamond November Rain a little bit.
And the one that I said was very much blue is Smaragdgrün, one of my favorite inks.
Yeah.
I
And
really
then
like that shade of
I would say that Robert Oster Motor Oil is kind of similar to KWZ Green Gold. Here's a comparison of Robert Oster Motor Oil and Robert Oster Melon Tea, which are both they consider to be browns. They're kind of similar, although I think Motor Oil is a little bit greener. He wants to show you
this one
Kainoboto Kokiro.
Is like the yellowest ink that my mom has.
So you can see how it compares to Walk the Dog. This would be a lot more yellow.
Yeah, so like we've gotten a good selection of green, or at least greenish inks.
Yeah, I really like a lot of different ones.
We've got a lot of brownish green inks. We've got a lot of bluish green inks, yellowish green inks.
Well, you can see the shimmer on the glistening Brane.
Oh yeah.
That's really neat. And trying to give you can see the sheen on the Papier Plume Forest Green.
Yeah.
Here's a closer look at some of the other ones. And I think that's going to be it for now, but like I said, well, I've been quite tired lately. I've been having a lot of really stressful things happening in the last 3 months, and I apologize to all of my pen pals. I really will write to you at some point, but I hope that you all are doing well, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.